Hello, and how are you? Hey, friends, welcome to the Shen Show. I am pushed back in my chair all the way back here, which is not a good thing because, well, makes me look like I'm a mile away from the old camera. I don't need to be a mile away from the camera while I'm doing a show now, do I? I'm trying to work on getting this chair turned on. Aha! We have chair. We're going to tilt the chair down forward, bringing me a bit closer to the screen. We're going to put the feet up. Whew. Stretch them muscles. Yes, sir. Them back leg muscles are tight as tight can be right this moment. Don't you see? Ow, 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 ow. I'm going to call that a cramp or a muscle spasm, whatever you want to call it. Mm, ow. Okay, there we go. For a minute, I thought my ear was bleeding, and then I saw something red over my shoulder, which was okay. All right. Anyway, hey, here we go. Today is Saturday, December the 12th, 2020. Got a happy birthday shout out going out to Beverly Bird, roommate for many a year. Alex Briscoe, that would be my nephew. And those two people are having birthdays today, and so therefore they're going to get a song sung by me. And that song would be, Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So happy birthday, I must say. You're one more year older today, so happy birthday to you, I say. I said, hey, Alex. Hey, Beverly. Hey, I heard it's your birthday today. So happy birthday, I must say. You're one more year older today. So happy birthday to you, I say. And many more. Yeah, cha 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 cha. That was another trip around the sun that you made. And why, that's an awful long time. It sure is. Although time just swings on by these days. Anyway, how about some Shen Show likes? These are folks that like the Shen Show on a daily basis and or, often on sporadically. How about Jamie O'Driscoll, Steve Clary, uh, Gina, Cornett, Daniel, Martin Kelly, and Lisa Foster. And then, of course, I've got my Pokey Pals. Yes, that's right, my Pokey Pal gals. Got Amanda Sue Little and Karen Sanders. These are my Pokey Pals. That being said, I was just trying to catch my breath real big, real big, real big breath for the quad. Because it's hard to do. You see that trach hole that I have right there? I swear that it's still got an opening in it somewhere because whenever I breathe in, you can see how deep it sucks in. That's kind of a goofy thingy there. Anyway, that's beside the point. It was supposed to heal up a little better than that, but who knows? Who cares? It's got scar tissue on the back of it. I get stuff hung up on it all the time. Oh, it's just a fiasco. Something, always going. But that's okay. How about some local weather for the St. Charles viewing area? The local weather for the St. Charles viewing area, well, for the remainder of the day, it's about going to be cloudy and with lows around 34 degrees Fahrenheit, and winds are going to be north to northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Then for tomorrow, Sunday, December the 13th, will be cloudy skies with highs around 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be light and variable. A few clouds for overnight time, with low temperatures dipping down around 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be north to northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Monday, mostly sunny skies. Highs around only 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be north to northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then mainly cloudy skies overnight. 24 degrees Fahrenheit. And winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. My throat got awfully dry this time. For some reason, it got dry. See, these are usually stuff that I take out, but I'm just letting you guys see what it would go with a whole straight through run. Because I have to do straight through runs. If I don't do a straight through run, I don't have an editing area for my videos. And so therefore I have to, every time you see one, it is a straight through run. Any mistakes in it, sometimes I just let them be because however long my show is, that means I've been running that show for that long, and it could be take 3 on the show because I got messed up or I fell over sideways or whatever, and I didn't want anybody to see it, so I just decided to this time let you guys see everything that goes on behind the scenes while I'm doing this thing. We just done Monday, right? So let's do Tuesday. Tuesday, December the 15th, that is. Overcast skies, highs around 38 degrees Fahrenheit, with winds east to northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. 25 degrees on overnight. That's right, cloudy skies with light night snow showers. Snow showers? Okay. Lows near 25 degrees. Winds are going to be north and northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of snow, only about 30%. So, and then Wednesday, December the 16th. A few clouds early, otherwise mostly sunny, with high temperatures around 39 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be north to northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. 23 degrees on overnight. Partly cloudy skies with the lows dipping down to 23 degrees. Winds are going to be light and variable. You know, this drives me nuts because the new weather thing that I have on here, see, I cleared everything off out of my, I ran a deep cleanse, and when I did, it knocked out all the cookies and stuff. So whenever I re-signed on stuff, it wasn't the same as it used to be. Isn't that the way? Isn't that the way? Nothing stays the same. It always changes. Anyway, for Thursday, December the 17th, some clouds in the morning will give way to many sunny skies, mainly sunny skies for the afternoon. Highs around 45 degrees Fahrenheit with winds light and variable. Clear to partly cloudy skies overnight with lows around 27 degrees Fahrenheit and winds are going to be light and variable. So that's Friday, December the 18th. How about partly cloudy skies in the morning and will give way to cloudy skies during the afternoon? Well, why didn't they just say cloudy skies during the day? Highs near 50 degrees Fahrenheit with winds south to southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy skies overnight with lows around 36 degrees Fahrenheit and winds southeast. Nope, just straight out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. One more day, Saturday, December the 19th. Showers in the morning, then cloudy in the afternoon. Highs around 49 degrees Fahrenheit with winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chances of rain 30%. Then cloudy with rain and snow showers overnight. Lows around 31 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are going to be light and variable. Chances of precipitation 40%. Westerly winds about 5 miles per hour. Okay? Well, alrighty then. Looks like it's time for some safe step. Safe Step is some, granulated rock salt. That's right. Rock salt. Always good to have around the house, especially during the snow and ice season. And Safe Step is Safe Step home salt stuff. That's right. Clearing the way to a beautiful home. Safe Step for everything. For pets, for peoples, for everything of each degree. That's right, pet friendly. Safe Step is committed to pet safety with patented melters that don't irritate the pet's paws and meet the US EPA's safer choice standards. Environmentally friendly de-icing. Safe Step offers three products that are safe for people, pets, and the environment and meet the U.S. EPA's safer choice standards. And then the high-performing de-icing Our Safe Step line features enhanced formulas that work fast and melt ice in temperatures as low as 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Safe Step, that's right. It's the safer choice for you for all your de-icing needs. There you go. Hey, 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 hey. That's what you need right there, some Safe Step. All right. Hey, you know that song I was looking for the other day? Found it. My dad come over today and together we come up with the title, which was, well, as I thought, Parson Brown. But the other thing was it was done by a group called New Charity, and that's what threw me off. And well, anyway, I got it right here. Alright, I don't know what that is, but anyway, here we go. There was a man in our town, he was a man of great renown, and his name was William Brown. He was a parson. Christmas week was drawing near. Father and mother were very poor, had no pudding nor meat in store for our Christmas dinner. I heard Pa tellin' Ma that we weren't going to have a Christmas this year, 'cause we was too poor. That made me feel kind of sad, so I went out of the house a singing, Merry Christmas we can't keep, got no shoes upon my feet, and we have no pudding and meat for our Christmas dinner. A little while later, I went back into the house and I heard Ma talking to Pa. Henry, where did you get that sheep? Why, isn't that the parson's big black sheep? Henry, you didn't. Oh, but he sure did. And now that things were looking up a little bit, I went out of the house a singing as loud as I could. A Merry Christmas we shall keep. Now we've got some pudding and meat. Father stole the parson's sheep for our Christmas dinner. And then I heard, Little boy, come over here. Would you mind singing that for me again? Sure, parson, glad to. A Merry Christmas we shall keep. Now we've got some pudding and meat. Father stole the parson's sheep for our Christmas dinner. Well, now, I sure like the way you sing that. Listen, if I was to give you a shiny new pocket watch and a half a crown, would you come down to my church next Sabbath and sing for the whole congregation? Yes, sir. You be there now. So, next Sunday, with my shiny new pocket watch in one hand and the half a crown in the other, I walked down the aisles, and the parson, he says, "Now, listen here, everybody. I want you to listen to the song this little boy sings, because every word of it is the gospel truth." And I takes a big breath, and I began to sing. As I was walking out one day, I met the parson dressed so gay. He and Miss Molly were making hay. He stepped right up and kissed her. "No, no, no, that's a lie, that's a lie." Well, everybody just laughed so that and so I went running back up the aisles a singing. How I cheated Parson Brown out of a watch and a half a crown, telling everyone around how he kissed Miss Molly. Gee, it sure was a swell Christmas dinner that year. So there it was. That was the song I was trying to think of the other day. And then there's another one that he brought up. It's not really a Christmas song, but it is. It is, and the reason it is because it's kind of speaks as a about a gift. Could be birthday gift or whatever. It could be just a welcoming home gift. But anyway, either way, this gift is called the Marvelous Machine. Uh, let's see. What is it called? Hmm. Song lyrics, The Marvelous Toy. I mean, yeah, it's a Peter, Paul, and Mary song. When I was just a wee little lad, full of health and joy, my father homeward come one night, and gave me a toy. I wondered to behold it was, with many colors bright. And the moment I laid eyes on it, it became my heart's delight. It went zip when it moved, and bop when it stopped, and whir when it stood still. I never knew just what it was, and I guess I never will. Well, the first time that I picked it up, I had a big surprise, 'cause right on the bottom were two big buttons that looked like big green eyes. Well, I first pushed one, then the other, and then I twisted its lid. And when I set it down again, this is what it did. Oh, it went zip when it moved, and bop when it stopped, and whir when it stood still. Oh, well, I never knew just what it was, and I guess I never will. Well, it first marched left, then marched right, and then marched under a chair. And when I looked where it had gone, it wasn't even there. Well, I started to cry, but my daddy just laughed, 'cause he knew that I would bite. When I turned around, my marvelous toy was a chugging from behind. Oh, it went zip when it moved, and bop when it stopped, and whir when it stood still. I never knew just what it was, and I guess I never will. Whir, whir, well, the years have gone by too quickly, it seems. I have my own little boy, and yesterday I gave to him my marvelous little toy. While his eyes nearly popped right out of his head, and he gave a squeal of glee. Neither one of us knows just what it is, but he loves it just like me. And it still goes zip when it moves, and bop when it stops, and whir when it stands still. Oh, we never knew just what it was, and I guess we never will. All right, there you have it, boys. There you have it, boys and girls. That's it. That's the end of it. How about it? Let's do some story time for the kids. Yep, it's Grandpa, the couch Grandpa. TV Grandpa coming to you. Yes, sir. Reba, this here is TV Grandpa, and I'm ready to read you a story. All right, we're gonna do Hans Christian Andersen, Hans Christian Andersen. Ah, dee 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 bow, 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 beep dee dee down, boom, down, beep deep beep dee doo boop 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 deep dee dee boop boop dee dee doo dee 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 doo down. Ba da dee dee doo boom. Ba da dee dee doo. Ba dee da boop boop dee da ba ba dee ba dee da doo. Ba da ba da boom. Ba da dee da down. Ba da dee da 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 dee da down. How about the flax? We'll see the flax. We'll see how long the flax is. We're going to zip down to the bottom of the flax. Okay, we can do the flax. It's not all that long. Okay, the flax is a story, a fairy tale, a short fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen or Andersen. The flax was in full bloom. It had pretty little blue flowers and as delicate as the wings of a moth, or even more so. The sun shone and the showers watered it, and this was just as good for the flax as it is for little children to be washed and then kissed by their mother. They look much prettier for it, and so did the flax. "People say that I look exceedingly well," said the flax, "and then I am and that I am so fine and long that I shall make a beautiful piece of linen. How fortunate I am! It may it makes me so happy. It is such a pleasant thing to know that something can be made of me. How the sunshine cheers me up, and how sweet the refreshing is the rain. My happiness overpowers me. No one in the world can feel happier than I am." "Ah, yes, no doubt," said the fern, "but you do not know the world yet as well as I do, for my sticks are knotty." And then it sung quite mournfully, "Snap, snap, snare, Bachelor." The song is ended. "This is not this is not ended," said the flax. "Tomorrow the sun will shine, or the rain descend, and I feel that I am growing, and I feel that I am in full blossom. I am the happiest of all creatures." Well, one day some people came who took hold of the flax and pulled it up by the roots. This was painful. Then it was laid in water as if they intended to drown it, and after that they placed it near a fire as if it were to be roasted. All this was very shocking. "We cannot expect to be happy always," said the flax, "but experiencing evil as well as good, we become wise." And certainly there was plenty of evil in store for the flax. It was stepped, it was steeped and roasted and broken and combed. Indeed, it secretly knew what was done to it. At last it was put on the spinning wheel. Whir, whir, went the wheel, so quickly that the flax could not collect its thoughts. Well, I have been very happy, he thought, in the midst of his spin, and most of and must be contented with the past, and contented he remained till he was put on the loom, and became a beautiful piece of white linen. All the flax, even the last stalk, was used in making this one piece. Well, this is quite wonderful. I could not have believed that I should be so favored by fortune. The fern was not wrong with its song of snap, snap, snare, bass lure. But the song is not ended yet, I am sure. It is only just beginning. How wonderful it is that after all I have suffered, I am made something of at last. I am the luckiest person in the world. So strong and fine, and how white, and with what a length! That is something different. So, being a mere plant and bearing flowers, then I had no attention, nor any water unless it rained. Now I am watched and taken care of. Every morning the maid turns me over, and I have a shower bath from the watering pot. Every evening, yes, the clergyman's wife notices me and said I was the best piece of linen in the whole parish. I cannot be happier now that I am now. I cannot be happier than I am now. After some time, the linen was taken out into the house, and placed under the scissors, and cut and torn into pieces, and then pricked with needles. This certainly was not pleasant, but at last it was made into 12 garments of that kind which people do not like to name, and yet everybody should wear one. See now, then, said the flax, I have become something of importance. This was my destiny. It is quite a blessing. Now I shall be of some use in the world, as everyone ought to be. It is the only way to be happy. I am now divided into 12 pieces, and yet we are all one and the same in the whole dozen. It is most extraordinarily good fortune. Years passed away, and at last the linen was so worn it could scarcely hold together. It must end very soon, said the pieces to each other. We would gladly have held together a little longer, but it is useless to expect gladly. It is useless to expect impossibilities. And at length they fell into rags and tattered, and thought it was all over with them, for they were torn to shreds, and steeped in water, and made into a pulp, and dried, and they knew not what besides, till all at once they found themselves beautiful white paper. Well, now, this is a surprise. A glorious surprise, too, said the paper. I am now finer than ever, and I should be written upon, and who can tell what fine things I may have written upon me? This is wonderful luck, and sure enough the most beautiful stories and poetry were written upon it, and only once was there a blot, which was very fortunate. Then people heard the stories and poetry read, and it made them wiser and better, for all that was written for a good and sensible meaning, and a great blessing was contained in the words on this paper. I never imagined anything like this, said the paper, when I was only a little blue flower growing in the fields. How could I fancy that I should ever be the means of bringing knowledge and joy to men? I cannot understand it myself, and yet it is really so. Heaven knows that I have done nothing myself but what I was obliged to do with my weak powers for my own preservation, and yet I have been promoted from one joy and honor to another. Each time I think that the song is ended, and then something higher and better begins for me. I suppose now I should be sent on my travels about the world, so that people may read me. It cannot be otherwise. Indeed, it is more than probable, for I have more splendid thoughts written upon me than I had pretty flowers in olden times. I am happier than ever. But the paper did not go on its travels. It was sent to the printer, and all the words written upon it were set up in type to make a book, or rather many hundreds of books, for so many more people could derive pleasure and profit from a printed book than from the written paper. And if the paper had been sent around the world, it would have been worn out before it had got halfway through its journey. This is certainly the wisest plan, said the written paper. I really did not think of that, and I shall remain at home and be held in honor, like some old grandfather, as I really aim to all these new books, and they will do some good. I Oh, as an old grandfather, as I really am to all these new books. They will do something good, and I could not have wandered about as they do. Yet he who wrote all this has looked at me as every word flowered from his pen upon my surface. I am the most honored of all. Then the paper was tied in a bundle with other papers and thrown into a tub that stood in the wash house. After work it is well to rest, said the paper, and a very good opportunity to collect one's thoughts. Now I am able, for the first time, to think of my real condition, and to know oneself is true progress. What will be done with me now, I wonder? No doubt I shall go forward. I have always progressed hitherto, as I know quite well. Now it happened one day that all the paper in the tub was taken out and laid on the hearth to be burnt. People said it could not be sold at the shop to wrap up butter and sugar, because it had been written upon, and the children in the house stood around the stove, for they wanted to see the paper burn, because it flamed up so prettily, and afterwards among the ashes so many red sparks could be seen running one after the other here and there, as quickly as the wind. They called it seeing the children come out of school, and the last spark was the schoolmaster. They often thought that the last spark had come, and one would cry, and there goes the schoolmaster. But the next moment another spark would appear, shining so brightly, and how they would like to know where that spark had come from, and all to went to, and perhaps we shall find out some day, but we do not know now. The whole bundle of paper had been placed on the fire, and was soon aligned. Ugh! Alight! Ugh! cried the paper, as it burst into a flame. Ugh! It was certainly not very pleasant to be burning, but when the whole was wrapped in flames, the flames mounted up into the air higher than the flax had ever been able to raise its little blue flower, and they glistened as as the white linen never could have glistened. All the written letters became quite red in a moment, and all the words and thoughts turned into fire. Now I am mounting straight up to the sun, said a voice in the flames, and it was as if a thousand voices echoed the words, and the flames darted up through the chimney and went out at the top. Then a number of tiny beans, as many in number as the flowers of the flax had been, and invisible to mortal eyes, floated above them. They were even lighter and more delicate than the flower from which they were born. And as the flames were extinguished, and nothing remained of the paper but black ashes, these little beings danced upon it, and whenever they touched it, bright red sparks appeared. The children are all out of school, and the schoolmaster was the last of all, said the children. It was good fun, and they sang over the dead ashes. Snip, snap, snap, snurr, mm, oops, snip, snap, snurr. The song is ended. But the little invisible beings said, the song is never ended. The most beautiful is yet to come. But the children could neither hear nor understand this, nor should they, for children must not know everything. And there you have it. That was the Flax Fairy Tale. A fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. Alrighty, hey, that looks like it brings us to our portion of the program called Our Daily Bread. That's right, Our Daily Bread today is going to be brought to us by the Bible with Briscoe 2020. The Bible with Briscoe 2020 is a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. Today's reading in the Bible with Briscoe 2020 is going to be Hosea 9 through 11 and Revelation 3. Okay, let's see. The Daily Bread. Prayful Wrestling. Prayful Wrestling. Genesis 32 through 24 will be the scripture. 24. Genesis 32, 24 through 32 will be the scripture for the day. And so it will go like this. Let's see, move that down just a hair. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. And when the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. And then the man said, Let me go, for it is daybreak. But Jacob replied, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Then the man asked him, What is your name? Jacob, he answered. Then the man said, Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome. Jacob said, Please tell me your name. But he replied, "Why do you ask my name?" Then he blessed him there. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "It is because I saw God's face to face, and yet my life was spared." The sun rose above him as he passed Peniel, and he was limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the Israelites do not eat the tenderloin attached to the socket of the hip, because the socket of Jacob's hip was touched near the tenderloin, or the tendon. And there you have it. That, my friends, was Genesis 32, 24 through 33, which concludes our daily bread portion of the program, which was brought to you today by the Bible with Briscoe 2020, a daily reading of the Bible to be completed within 1 year. All right, my friends, I got one more song for you, and that would be, oh, well, goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I said goodbye, my friends. It's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must go. So goodbye, my friends, goodbye. This here has been Shenandoah Briscoe saying hello and how are you? Thanks for tuning in to the Shen Show, and as always, God loves you and so do I. So come back and see me tomorrow because, well, hey, I'll be here, and I hope that you are